Floss Tube. Welcome to my channel, Sambrie Stitches. My name is Becca. Today is a super special episode because I am interviewing a very special guest. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Daylene, and I have a channel called So Grateful. So thanks a lot, Becca, for inviting me. It's really fun. I'm excited. I'm happy. Okay, so hit me with your best shot.
All right, I'm excited too. This is going to be fun to get to know you.
Okay.
So the first question is, why did you start a floss tube, and were there any particular motivations as to why you started one?
Yes, there was. I had a business, natural gourmet dog biscuit business for 14 years. And while I loved my customers, every one of them was happy with my product, I didn't have a lot of chatting back and forth. So after 14 years, I was a little bit tired of making dog biscuits. And so I decided that when I stopped my business in October, I would give myself 4 or 5 weeks, and then I wanted to start a floss tube so I could meet some new friends.
Wow.
People friends, not canine friends.
I was gonna say, well, you met Shadow via my
But I love meeting, yes, I do love meeting dogs.
Some recipes from you for sure, because some dog biscuits.
Okay.
I know that. That's neat. Number 2 is, do you have a blog? That was a viewer question from my subscribers. They just wanted to know if anybody that I'm interviewing has a blog they can check out.
Oh, I do. I had a blog for about a little over 5 or 6 years. I think there's a 1,400 posts on there. And I haven't written for a little bit because I'm in the middle of writing a book right now. And so my couple hours in the morning of writing has gone into research and doing the book instead of writing on my blog. So yes, I do. It's called Sunday's Child. It's on WordPress.
Oh, all right. And what kind of book are you writing?
I'm writing a book with my husband. Together, we're writing a book. Let's see. 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I decided to say politely, no thank you to chemotherapy and radiation. So it's this book about hope. It's this book about you can do this, and life is good, and that's what we're writing about. But there's lots of research and footnotes and different things I've done. I've changed 150 some things in my life in 5 years or 5 or 6 years. And so that's what it's about. So I've been spending my time writing with that instead of doing the blog. But.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that. You're always so inspirational in your videos, so your book is going to be absolutely amazing. So that's exciting.
So, okay, if I sold one book, there you go.
Oh, I got it right here.
Okay.
I'll buy it. I'll be
okay, thanks. Thank you.
All right. How did you learn to stitch, and how long have you been stitching?
How long have I been stitching? 39 years. Okay, awesome. I used to work part-time after school in a fabric store, and one night the other coworker, her name was Isolda, and we had already vacuumed everything and fixed all the fabric and organized all the thread and patterns, and we just stood there, and the money was ready to be done. We had no customers. It was the end of the night. Mm-hmm. And we probably had an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to go, but there was nobody there. So we were just kind of walking around the shop, and I said, "What is cross stitch?" And she said, "Oh, I'll teach you sometime." And I said, "Oh, okay. And what supplies do I need?" or whatever. She goes, "Oh, forget it. I'll just teach you right now." Oh, so wow. She taught me, and she was left-handed. So all of my stitches are cross left-handed. Everything I do is that way. And she just showed me how to do it right there. And that was that.
Wow, I'm left-handed, so that's kind of neat that you stitch that way.
There you go.
That's pretty neat. What is your favorite project that you've stitched?
Probably the Jane Pattison sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler, because of the border is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful border. And then on the outside of the border, there's little motifs, which I really loved. It was really fun to do. And I personalized that one for my husband's grandma, Georgina Thompson. So it's become really a fun piece. It's totally framed, and I love that one the most.
Borders always get me. I'm just now getting into samplers, which
Okay.
me, I'm a small stitcher, and so the borders on them are just gorgeous.
So are you going to do the borders first?
I started stitching Huckleberry Farm, and I started on the top left corner of the border. So I'll do
You're
a
a top
little
left
bit
corner
and then
starter.
fill it
Okay.
in. Yeah, top left
Okay.
corner.
Well, I always start mine right in the center of all my pieces, except this last one, the last sampler that I just started. I started in the bottom right-hand corner.
Oh wow!
That's the first time I've ever started that way. But yeah, I do the border first.
But I've never tried the bottom right. We'll have to see. I'm always
Well,
top
that's
left.
because I stitch up and left,
Oh, okay.
and I can go faster that way. So.
Well, you stitch in hand too. I don't know if that would make a difference at all, but I always use Q snaps, and I don't know, for some reason it's just up in that top left. So.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. What do you enjoy most about stitching?
The actual stitching, not the kitting up, not the finding the pieces, not the ending, not the finishing, none of that. It's that actual in the meat of it where you're just like in the rhythm of stitching it, and you're just in the middle of creating it. Ooh, I love that part.
Yeah. I think mine is the fully finishing part of it. Like the stitching is nice because it keeps me kind of, it calms me. But that fully finishing part, that's my favorite, I think.
Okay, that's why we like each other. I'll stitch it, you can finish
I'll
it.
finish it for you. There you go.
Okay.
I can't finish samplers. Those things need to be like beautifully custom framed, but I can do
Okay, all right.
So what is your favorite genre of book or movies? Do you have like a favorite, just kind of wide genre?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm trying to fix it nicely in my head so I don't sound like a crazy person. I love a good murder mystery book. Ooh, gory and good, and I love to escape, and I love to read them right before I go to bed.
Oh. Wow. just to relax. Like what
Pure escapism. Yes, and it's so powerful. I feel like, oh, I could be that killer. Now, see, I told you it would sound horrible. You might want to edit that out. I'm a very nice person.
Sound horrible. I think a lot of people like murder mystery type of.
Ooh, I love a good mystery. Oh, I love them.
Well, that leads into a fictional place that you would most like to go. Is there any sort of fictional place from a book or a movie or just an imaginary place?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Don't you want to work there?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I just want to like be the wallpaper lick tester, or I just want to see how it all works behind the scenes.
I want to be one of the Oompa Loompas, I think. I don't want to be one of the kids because that ends up being bad unless I'm Charlie. But an Oompa Loompa would be fun because you get to work there. I want to do the chocolate river. That would be me.
Right. And how does it smell? It must smell amazing.
I know. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Because I was thinking that too when I was doing the questions. I was like, that would be so much fun to do. That's awesome.
See, we're good friends. That's it. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. If you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be? If you had one free day to do whatever you wanted.
Go hang out at the beach with Mr. Right. Have a fabulous dinner at the beach. Walk on the beach. Look for treasures. Draw notes on the beach. Yep, that'd be my place.
Yeah, I'm a beach
How
girl.
about you?
I grew up at the beach. My parents would take us camping almost every weekend, like during the summer, down in Oregon, and I love the beach. I can go in the ocean no matter what temperature it is. My husband thinks I'm crazy.
Exactly. I love a good Cannon Beach weekend in Oregon.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Oh, I miss that. Do you have any other hobbies besides cross stitch?
I do. I love the garden. I'm starting my garden this year. I bake bread every week. I love to bake. I love to swim, and I love riding my bike. Yeah, I read all the time.
Quills.
Yeah, I've got a lot of hobbies. Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies. Oh, I do a little bit of crochet. I kind of call myself an advanced beginner. I feel like that makes me sound fancier. I've been doing it for a couple of years. I taught myself on YouTube, and I don't know. Sometimes I do better with little baby hats. There you go. I've made one blanket. I don't know.
I don't really have any other hobbies besides Floss Tube.
Oh, there you go.
It was funny because on my Facebook memories from 8 years ago, it came up that I actually knitted something.
Oh, really?
Turned into a scarf, but I don't remember that. But I have a picture and it says I knitted it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
find
neat.
it if I still have it. I don't know.
I've taken 3 knitting classes, and the first one I thought it was the teacher. Oh, it's the teacher. I don't know how to do it. And the second one, oh, it must be the teacher. By the third one, I'm like, I think it's the student.
I think it's
me. Good at knitting. Maybe I need to be with the person looking over their shoulder or something.
Yeah, I tried learning off of YouTube and I just can't. I think I have to be there with somebody that is left-handed.
Oh, you should find that scarf and wear it on one of your videos.
I should. I have to look for it. I don't know if I still have it or if it actually ended up being a full scarf. So
No. Tuck the ends behind you. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, that was a surprise because I don't remember it. But the next question is, how would your friends describe you?
How would my friends? Okay, well, I hope they think I'm kind and polite, thoughtful, generous. I think some of my really good friends might say I'm courageous. That's a kind of a good word.
It's a very good word.
I hope people think I'm kind.
I think you're kind. We're friends. I've met you. You're very kind. You're very caring. Those are
okay
words for you.
I'm glad it's you. I'm glad you didn't bring on a couple of surprise guests. This is what they really think about you.
Bring them on in. No. Well, we kind of covered this previous with how do you prefer to stitch, and we had talked about you prefer to stitch in hand for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, I stitch in hand. I always have.
Do you have a preferred fabric or use a magnifier or anything like that?
I use linen, mainly 32 count linen. I'm just now starting to use a magnifier, but I have I use glasses that I took my cross stitch to the eye doctor to show them what it was that I was trying to, so that I could see better. And at first I thought it was a little goofy, but the eye doctor said, oh no, we've had people bring in their poker cards. We've had people bring in their knitting. We had a man come in with his gun so that he could understand what you need glasses for. Because when I said cross stitch, they didn't really know what I was talking about. So when I brought it in, he just had me hold it like I was stitching. He said, just stitch your piece. And then he measured and decided. So I use glasses that help me stitch. So
I'm gonna have to do that because I went to the eye doctor and they told me these are readers and I have to see what I'm reading, but I should do that. I should bring my cross stitching because that's the whole point.
It's just because they don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes if you said knitting, they might have a grandma or someone that knit, and then they would say, oh, I know, it was usually in her lap.
Yeah.
But when you're actually cross stitching and you bring the piece in and they're shocked at how small these X's are, and then if you're holding it in your hand and you take a stitch, you know about how far away. Mine's about 12 inches away from when I'm holding it, when I'm stitching. And so then he was able to figure out how far I need, because I didn't need to see it far away like a target for practice shooting, or I didn't need to see it for poker cards down on the table. So yeah, I think if you take that with you, you're not trying to brag, but you're really just trying to say, this is more than just my hobby. This is what makes me happy, and it's my passion. And so you really want to be able to do that. I mean, it's a pricey date. I make sure and keep them in my little case and all that. So they're a little more expensive than the dollar store glasses.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, I'll do that when this is all over and I can make an appointment.
There you go.
What is your favorite place that you've traveled, and did you bring stitching along with you?
My favorite place was northern France, the beaches of Normandy. And I did not bring stitching. We went to Vimy Ridge. My husband took the boys into one of the trenches so that they could see what it was like. We got to go into the big bunkers and look out the little windows, and we were in there, and to see Point de Hoc, and it changed my life. It changed our whole lives. It was an amazing trip, and
That sounds absolutely like a once in a lifetime kind of amazing trip.
it was amazing. And at the time, the boys were young teenagers, and you know how you have to kind of remind your children, be quiet, remove your hat,
Yep.
be polite, be quiet, stop fighting,
Yeah.
stop fidgeting. When we went to the cemetery, the big cemetery that's there at Normandy, I got ready to, say those things to my kids, and you didn't have to. They could feel it. They knew it. Neither of them had a hat on. They weren't fighting. They weren't poking each other. It was an amazing, amazing trip. So thanks for asking. That was neat that you asked.
That sounds amazing. And you raised some very, very good kids.
Yes, not all the time. One time on Christmas Eve service at church, they were the acolytes, and it was very quiet at 11:30 at night, and very solemn and beautiful, and everybody was so excited. And the two boys were the candlelighters. They walked up the aisle, they lit the candles, and then I heard some clicking sounds.
Oh no.
And I didn't know what it was, and I looked around. They were sword fighting with the candle. So I quietly walked up the aisle and then just told them I sat between them. And you could hear the giggling in the congregation. They weren't always polite and nice.
Kids will be kids. I don't know that one, but that's funny. Wow. So what can you not do without for your stitching? Like your favorite go-to stitching item?
Oh, probably my glasses. Yeah.
Glasses?
Because I just stitch in hand, so I don't have any hoops or snaps or anything. And I just tried that ballpoint needle.
Everybody's talking about that, yeah.
Probably in August, maybe August, September, and I have not stopped using it. And I have not bent it, and it hasn't gotten any kind of burrs on it or anything. So I would say thumbs up. Yeah, I've used the same needle since then, and it's beautiful. I really like it a lot. So I love it. I mean, I can stitch without it, but I really love that. But yeah, my glasses.
I think my glasses too, and Q-snap, because I can't get the stitching in hand to save my life. I've tried. I just can't do it.
Did you start and learn with a Q-snap? Is that how you started?
I started with hoops because I don't remember Q-snaps, because I've been stitching for I think 20 plus years, and I don't remember if there was Q-snaps with those wooden hoops that you can get at the craft stores.
Right,
so
right.
I learned to stitch with something like that
because of the tension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So who knows? I love my Q-snaps. I have a ton of them. So
good.
How do you decide on what you're going to work on next?
Sometimes if it's a birthday present or a special gift for a certain time, I kind of put that in my head how long I need to get it done. But usually right around the halfway mark of a sampler, that's the part where I love the most, where I can kind of see the end. I'm past all the beginning of collecting everything. I'm just in the meat of that stitching. That's when my mind starts to wander and I think, okay, what's next? What's the next piece I'm going to do? So that's pretty much when I decide the next bigger piece like that. So
you just finished a beautiful, beautiful sampler too.
That was a good one.
That was a good gorgeous one.
It was a fun one. It was
fun to watch the progress, really. Like,
oh, you think so? Okay, good. That's interesting. That's interesting you say that, because sometimes when you show it, video after video, you're thinking, are people sick of seeing this thing? So that's kind of neat that you want to see the progression.
I love seeing the progress on things like that. One, because I stitch small, so I don't really have progress. Like I just, whip through it and then it's done. But now that I'm getting into samplers, I love just seeing it come together, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I enjoy seeing people.
Oh, you just finished that waxing moon one. Those little ants on there are adorable. Aren't those cute?
Yeah, they are pretty cute.
That's really charming. That's a charming piece. I love that. I want to see how you finish it. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yep. I'm hopefully going to finish that today. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Good.
And then the last question is, what's the best thing that happened to you so far this year?
Oh, hands down, easy. I got to take a trip to Nashville and see the Country Music Hall of Fame and all the goodness and eat biscuits, and I swam every day. And then the best part, we got to drive down to Alabama and I got to spend the time with my grandgirlies, and we got to go swimming and shopping, and we got to go to the beach and all kinds of fun stuff, and it was the best.
I
It was just
remember
the
you
best.
talking about that and showing some pictures. That sounds like an amazing. I would love to go to the Grand Ole Opry. Oh my gosh, that would be.
It was a great trip. It was really fun. It was really fun. And then we ended that trip with a couple days in New Orleans, so we got to eat and pig out and have some beignets and coffee, and it was good. It was really good. It was fun.
Sounds like an amazing trip before all the crazy.
I know. Now that I'm thinking, yeah, exactly.
Perfect time.
I know. It was like, wow, that's pretty neat, because we came back in February, so that was pretty lucky on my part.
Yeah,
actually.
timing for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, that was all of the questions. So
Oh, good. Thanks for asking me to do it. It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Doing this, and for
It was less painful than I thought it was going to be.
for being my guinea pig and for supporting me and helping me through all this. You've been amazing, so I appreciate you so much for this. So.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. I don't know if anybody wants any more interviews of me, but we'll watch everybody else's. I look forward to hearing all your interviews. I think it's going to be really neat. Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.